Hi, I'm Reeve with Quality Sewing Vacuum, and in this video, we're going to talk about pricing for your embroidery business. Now, this is one in a series, so if you haven't caught our other videos about starting your own embroidery business, go back and check those out. Now, the pricing one, I know this is a really touchy one. People always want to know exactly how to price. How do you do that? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about it. The bottom line is it's your choice. You can price by items, you can price by stitch count, you can do anything that you want. So I'm going to give you a general guideline and then you make your decisions. You also might want to do a little bit of research on how things are priced in your area. Because, for example, something that I could charge maybe $10 for in my area, in another area down, just north of here in a major city, that same thing could go for $20. I'm just saying it's just the market. You got to look at what your market will bear. Okay, so let's talk about the two different things that we have for pricing. You have digitizing. That is creating the embroidery design. Okay, and that uses software and you convert an image into embroidery. Now, first of all, don't freak out. It's okay if you don't yet do that. Maybe that's coming because that does take some skill and some practice to get going. So don't stress about it. But if someone brings you a logo, don't say, oh, I'm new, I don't know how to do that. Because you know what? Cut your confidence right in half and they don't have any confidence in you. So you say, okay, thank you. I will email you back a quote. And then you get with a digitizing service. And this is a company that will do the digitizing for you. You send them the logo, they'll give you a price of how much it would be, or sometimes right on their website, it tells you right there how much it will be, but they'll give you like a stitch count guesstimate, and then you can tell your customer how much that would cost. And then you can go from there. And then the company will give you the embroidery design, and then you just stitch it out. So it's like win-win. Now, just so you know, there are a lot of companies that are in the United States that are very easy to deal with. You're not working with multiple weird time zones or someone that you can't have a conversation with. Just pick up the phone and call them. So do look for someone in your area that is a digitizing service, and you can do a Google search for that. I know we have one in a neighboring city to us. That's really awesome. So I know that there's other ones out there. So just take a look around. You don't have to use anything from outside the country if you don't want to. Okay, so now let's talk about embroidery pricing. Okay. Oh, wait, I am going to go back for a second and talk about digitizing. Let's say, and this is not an accurate number. I'm using numbers that are easy for my brain to digest. Let's say I submit a design to be digitized and the bill to me is $10. Then the bill to my client is $20. Okay, if you're going to charge for the digitizing process, make sure you pass that on, and you generally double your price. Okay, your cost, double it. That's your end price. Okay, but there are some instances where maybe you're not going to charge for the digitizing. Maybe you have a group that comes to you and you want to capture all of their business. You can have that as a gift. Put it on your invoice that it is that the digitizing, there was no cost. All right, so that's just one thing. Now let's talk about embroidery pricing. Now, if you have a design, let's say I'm doing a left chest design. You're charging $1 for every 1,000 stitches, and my design is 10,000 stitches, then my design is going to cost $10. Okay? So if it's a 6,000 stitch design, then my design costs $6 to do, right? So if I did, let's say I did 10 of the logos that was 6,000 stitches in an hour, and I did 10 of those, I'd make $60 an hour. Now that's okay money, right? I don't mind that at all. But now let's talk about how you can increase the cost or the profit that you make. And that's by having the goods that you embroider it on be something that you offer. If you have a customer that brings you their shirt, their polo, their whatever it is, their jacket, that's great if it's onesies, twosies, but if they're doing something for a group and they go to Target and they buy all the clearance shirts and they bring them to you. If there's a challenge with the machine and the machine eats one, you can't replace it because they were on clearance at Target, right? So also, then you're only making $6 per logo. If you include the garment, you can replace it. You can get more next year when they want more of the exact same color, the exact same style. You can always get more. And you're able to charge for the logo and for the product. So I have a little chart here on a little shirt, a little pamphlet, and in the link, if you look down, there's going to be a link where you can request one of these. For a limited time, we'll be able to send you out a digital version of that, but it is just a limited time. But in here, this booklet goes over a whole bunch of different things that have to do with starting an embroidery business, whether it be the supplies you need, why you want to start a business, how you find your customers, things like that. But this is the one that I really like because it talks about examples of pricing. So let's think about that $6 logo. And the group that I'm doing wants to do it on polo shirts. Okay. Now we're going to get a decent polo shirt. The cost of the polo shirt itself is $16. Well, it's actually $8, right? $8. And then if you take your $8 that I spent on that polo, I double it, I get $16 is the price of my shirt. Then you add your price of your embroidery, which is $6. Now the retail price of that shirt is $22. So instead of just $6 for doing the logo by itself, now you've added the shirt and you've done the embroidery. Now you've increased your profit to $14. That's a much better profit than just $6. Now, just so you know, in that $6 for the embroidery, that includes the thread, that includes the stabilizer, it includes your electricity, it includes your time. It is $6. You don't nickel and dime out everything. With an exception. If I'm going to run a metallic thread, I do have a premium charge on that. Just a few cents, just maybe like 25 cents per color. And then also if you have to do more threads than what your machine can hold, like this one has 6 threads. So if I had to go to 7, 8, 9, 10 threads, I might have an upcharge for that. Okay. Some people do an upcharge for heavy items, like heavy weight items, like jackets and things. This machine, I've done Carhartts, I've done horse blankets. I have not had a problem with this. So I don't charge for that. Okay. But you can see that you have now increased your profits. So if we were doing 10 an hour, we went from $60 from just doing the logo to $140 doing polo shirts because we provided the shirt. Now another example is a jacket. Let's talk about a jacket. So the jacket costs us $25, okay? And then we're still doing that same $6 logo. So we got the $25 jacket that we're going to charge $50 for. We've got our $6 logo, so now we're charging $56 for this jacket, and our total profit is $31. So now that same hour that was spent just doing the logo, now you've increased your profit to $310 for an hour's worth of work. That's okay money. Okay. Now let's talk about caps for a minute. Caps are special. They're awesome. They're some of the easiest things to hoop, the best money makers that you're going to do. But we're going to talk about pricing those a little bit different. You're still using that $6 logo, but our cap costs us $2.50. So are we going to charge $6 for the logo and $5 for the hat? No. Because I mean, seriously, that's $11. People love having their logo on a ball cap. And if someone's really into ball caps and they're into the thing that they love, whether it be a soccer team, their kids' activity, their golf group, their business, whatever it is, they're going to pay a whole lot more than just a simple math, right? So you might 2-3 times the cost of that. So for example, for that $2.50 cent hat, I charge $12 for it. $6 embroidery. That gives us a total of $18, which is $15.50 in profit from a $2.50 hat. So that's $155 an hour doing ball caps. Now, if you do 10 ball caps, 20 ball caps a month, you've more than paid for your machine. And then you can use it to do quilting and all sorts of fun stuff that you want to. Okay, so you can see it's going to be really to your advantage to get a wholesale account with someone who provides the goods so you can embroider on them. But remember, take the cost that you have, unless it's a cap, and double it, then add your embroidery on top of it, and that's how much you charge. Now, if you're doing other things, creative things, you're gonna do things a little bit differently. For example, maybe I'm going to do a lace bookmark, and there's a lot of stitches in that, and I want to sell them at a craft fair. Chances are there's no one who's going to pay $50 for a bookmark. Okay, so you have to look at what the item is and charge what the market will bear. So that might be $15, it might be $20, it might be $10. You have to figure out what that price is for you. But the other thing is you can load them up in your big hoop and just push go and go have dinner and watch a movie, and it's all good. So other things, like I said, the hat, you can charge more than what the cost is because the market will bear more for that. So have fun doing your embroidery. Do it on all sorts of things that you love to do. Oh, and if you're doing your own ordering, custom ordering for goods, you don't have to have a storehouse in your basement full of blank shirts and everything, because the chances are the next group's not going to want the pink shirt, they're going to want a purple shirt. So don't give yourself full stock, just order it on demand. So that way you have exactly what you need when you need it, and then you don't have you're not sitting on a pile of stuff. So price yourself honestly, look at the pricing around you and find out how much that you're willing to charge, and make sure it's worth your time. But don't undersell yourself, because no one's going to want to go with you, because they're going to figure that if your prices are cheap, so are you, and you're not going to do good business. Don't be the most expensive game in town, because again, people aren't going to want to use you. Try to be somewhere in the middle. And if you have a customer who wants to haggle and beat you down about the price, set your standards, stick with it, don't give in, because they're probably just looking for the cheapest guy in town, and they're not going to be a loyal customer. So have fun. Embroidery is great. Join us in one of our other videos in the series, and we will see you at the next one.